Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Tahasan, and I will be the sergeant now for today's meeting. Today, Karachi Toastmasters Club is hosting 930th meeting, which is a real milestone for this club. Before we proceed with this meeting, I would like to mention some ground rules that we follow in this meeting. Number one, while you are speaking or when you are called upon to speak, avoid using um, avoid relating these three things in your speech. Number one is politics, number two is sex, and number three is politics.
Religion.
Religion. Very sorry about that. And the two rules that we follow in this online meeting is when you are stepping away from your laptop, kindly close your camera, and when you're not speaking, kindly mute yourself. With this, I would like to mention the mission of the Toastmasters Club. Can you give me a second? I really apologize for this. As Toastmaster, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in great self-confidence and personal growth. With this mission, we follow in our club and we proceed with this meeting. With this, I hand over my charge to the president of our club, DTM Salah bin Hamid. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Atams. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And amongst the various rules that our Sergeant Atams mentioned, I would like to add one, and that is that we encourage everyone to turn on their cameras unless they are facing a technical difficulty or Zoom is facing a technical difficulty, so that we can see each other and we have a good experience of being in each other's company. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this wonderful evening. I hope all of you are well. I'm the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club, and this is our 930th meeting. For the uninitiated, Toastmasters is an organization headquartered in Colorado, USA, and under its auspices, there is an education program that is primarily aimed at improving communication and leadership skills of its members. The program is based on self-learning basis, and the curriculum on which it is based is called Pathways. In addition to that, every Toastmasters meeting has a specific format, and the Toastmaster of the day will introduce you to the format. Broadly, the same format is followed all around the world. So in a way, this is a unique program where across 17,000 clubs and more than 300,000 members around the world, the same curriculum is followed. So before we move on, I would like for our esteemed guests today to introduce themselves. So we have Mr. Imran Mahmood Chaudhary. Mr. Imran, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. This is not my first time, but I've been in Toastmasters, been a casual participant in 2015, 2016, and now I've mustered enough courage to come back again. I hope this time around I'll be regular. So a brief introduction about myself is I have basically by trade I'm a salesman, and by passion I have a lot of those. Actually, I'm an avid reader, a member of Astronomy Society, and I play table tennis at first class level. So this is about me, and I'm just here to improve my communication skills and also to build a community around my interest, if possible. And I think I should close with this statement. Thank you.
Wonderful to have you. I believe our DTM Samir exchanged some emails with you, and you mentioned that you want to. So first of all, welcome back. It is always thrilling when any Toastmaster comes back to Toastmasters. And have I got something exciting for you? Because yes, first of all, we would very much like you to be back in Karachi Toastmasters Club. We are also in the process of establishing another club that is dedicated to science fiction, astronomy, and other such subjects. So it's an advanced club, and it will have members from around the world. It will be an online club. So uh, I would very much like you to have a look at that as well. And again, amazing to have you back, and looking forward for your formal rejoining as one of our members. We have Laiba Irshad. Yes, Laiba Irshad, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, we move on to our third guest, Fatma Wali. Ms. Fatma Wali, would you like to introduce yourself?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Fatma Wali, and by profession, I am a system analyst working for a distribution company. And I'm also an abstract artist. And I recently heard about this community and on a community groups on Facebook. And I really thought that I should join it to improve my communication skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you with us, and looking forward to you having a great time. And of course, deciding to join us as a member. Next, we have, okay, I think we had Laiba Irshad. Laiba, if you're available, please introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Laiba Irshad, and I am studying in graduation. I want to
Sorry, you're muted, Laiba. Yeah. Laiba, are you there? Okay, no worries. We will get back to her. And before we move on, first of all, I request all guests, if you haven't done so, I have placed our guest book link in the chat box. So please click on the link and fill the form so that we can get in touch with you regarding future meetings, and of course, provide you with member details. Secondly, I would ask our VP Education Toastmaster Imran Rana to conduct the business session. So over to you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tapa. I'm sure I'm audible. Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, last week was quite a busy week because we not only have one meeting, we had two meetings. First meeting was our regular meeting that is on Wednesday, and it was our 928th meeting with an amazing theme. Let's start reading books again. The highlights of this meeting is best speaker goes to, actually one of the important highlight of this meeting was that the two guest speakers from our neighboring country praise the meeting, and the best speaker goes to Gayatri Deshmukh from MI Speak. The best speaker critics goes to DTM Santosh Akila, and then we have best table topic speaker that goes to Toastmaster Gautami Then we had Best Evaluator, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, Best Big Four, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali as General Evaluator, and Best Facilitator, DTM Talha as Listener. Then we host our 929th meeting with the theme Building Bridges, Uniting Hearts. It was a combined meeting between the two clubs, Kolkata Toastmaster Club India and Karachi Toastmasters Club from Pakistan. The highlights about the meeting were, it was a great opportunity to learn about different cultures. Our members participated with zeal and zest. Hats off to Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan for putting her time and efforts for the arrangements of the meeting, facilitators and role players, speakers and evaluators. Our table topic master Toastmaster Mariam Arif were finally able to grab Best Big Four along with the Toastmaster of the Day from Kolkata Toastmasters Club. With that, I would like to hand over the charge back to the president.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana, for that excellent report. Just one question: do we have any resolution or reportable development that was discussed among the ExCom and needs to be tabled before the members? Toastmaster Imran, do we have any such item?
Yes, we are planning to have our Saturday's meeting.
That was, I think that has been declared earlier, but during the past week, I don't think there's anything that is reportable. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. So right now there is Maghrib Azan going on. So what we'll do is that we'll quickly go through the role introductions, and after that we'll take a break of 10 minutes for the prayers and resume. So starting from our grammarian, which we don't have, surprise, surprise. So anyone who would like to take grammarian today? Actually, I can spot a very eligible candidate who just dropped out of the meeting. So anyhow, let's go to the other roles and then we can come back on this. So we have our timer today, Toastmaster Kareem Megani. Toastmaster Kareem, please explain your role.
Okay, can you hear me or can you see me? There is an
actually,
issue.
we can hear you, but not see you.
Okay, so it seems my camera is working. We will work on it on the namaz break. Just let me explain my role first. So as a timer, good evening, everyone. First, the timer is responsible for keeping track of time during the meeting. And, you know, I will be looking at your speeches, your table topics, and, you know, according to your time allotted to you, I'll be showing you some cards. So I'll be showing on the speeches part so I'll have green, yellow, and red that will be shown to you. My background will change accordingly. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time I'm taking a timer role, by the way. So it will be 5 minutes. It will be for 5 to 7 minutes speech. The first card is green at 5 minutes. At 6 minutes, it will be yellow, and 7 minutes, it will be the red. And the same thing goes with the table topics. It will be at 1 minute. It will be a green card. 1.5, it will be a yellow, and 2 minutes, it will be a red. So please look at the cards and just make sure that you know we are on time. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kareem. Just to add to what you explained, if there's a speech with different timings, the evaluator will announce it, and you will be able to adjust your cards according to that. And our next role is our counter, who is our very own Toastmaster Shamil Shahriar. Toastmaster Shamil, please explain your role.
Okay, hold on. 1 minute. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, you
Good
are.
evening. Right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, as a role of our counter, I would be noting down the times. I would be noting the times you should. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I would be noting down the filler words that were used by the speakers, such as okay, like, I mean, basically, non-creative words, phrases, etc. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report on how many filler words were used by the speaker. Over to you, TTM Hamid.
Thank you so much. Next, we have the listener, who is our treasurer, Toastmaster Ali Asharanjan. Toastmaster Ali, please explain your role.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Ali Asharanjan, and today, being the listener, my role is to note down all the interesting phrases from the meeting, and in the end, I am going to take a test of your listening skills. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ali Asharanjan. Next role is the vote counter, which I'll be doing. At 5 different occasions during the meeting, all of you will be asked to vote. That will be for the best speaker, best table topic speaker, best big 4, best facilitator, and best evaluator. The only condition for eligibility of all these will be that they should all remain within their allotted time. So at the end of every segment, I'll be floating the vote through Zoom poll. As the vote counter, I cannot cast the vote myself unless there's a tie. And if the Zoom poll won't work, then maybe we will use a Google form or some other medium. Now, with that out of the way, we have our word master, who is, sorry, did somebody say anything?
Azhar is the word master.
Yeah, exactly. I was coming to that. We have not our word master today, but our phrase master, because today we have a phrase of the day, not the word of the day. Toastmaster Azhar, please explain the phrase of the day and your role as well.
Thank you, President. Hello, how are you? All my guests and Toastmasters. In every meeting, we learn new words, new phrase, anything, because we want to enhance our vocabulary. Being a word master today, phrase is nothing lasts forever. Please use this phrase of the word as many times as possible. I will call out your names, who use the phrase, and how many times it has been used. So please use this phrase today meetings. Thank you, Toastmaster.
So you're looking so dashing today with such excellent lighting and with tie. We wish that you could just speak on and on, but sadly nothing lasts forever. So we will move on to the next role, which is.
So what's the phrase?
Nothing lasts forever.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
So we need a grammarian. So anybody who would volunteer for the grammarian?
Okay, I'll do that.
You already have tabletops. Okay, fine. Let's do one thing, Toastmaster Imran. You take it for now, and if somebody else takes it up later during the table topics, then I think you can distribute it with them. Is that okay?
Yes. So as grammarian, my role is to note down grammatical errors during the speeches and some interesting use of grammar. And at the evaluation, I will give my report about the correct usage of grammar without mentioning the name, and those who have used good usage of grammar, I will announce their names as well. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. And how can we forget the most important facilitator role, which is the joke master? So Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan, over to you for your jokes.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What should you do when no one laughs at your science jokes? What should you do when no one laughs at your science joke? Keep trying until you get a reaction. How do billboards talk to each other? How do billboards talk to each other? Through sign languages. What's one way we know that the ocean is friendly? What's one way we know that the ocean is friendly? It waves. And the last one, I poured a root beer in a square glass. I poured a root beer in a square glass. Now I just have beer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. Let me add a joke of my own. A man came to a psychotherapist and he said that I have a very big problem. The psychotherapist asked, what is your problem? The man said, I seem to be using too many words for what I want to express. The psychotherapist said, you mean wordiness? The patient said, see my problem? So with that, we will hand over the charge to Toastmaster of the day today, which happens to be me. So luckily, there will be no transition time. And before we proceed, I think it's right time to take a prayer break for 10 minutes. So in my clock, it's 6:57. So I request everyone else to take a 10-minute break. If you want to pray, pray. If you want to have a snack, snack. We won't judge. In the meantime, I have to float a couple of board papers and also the district budget, and perhaps offer prayer in the meantime as well. So we will reconvene at 7 minutes and 8 p.m. Is that right? So, Mr. Timer, please keep in mind we are reconvening in 10 minutes. Three, two, one.
No problem. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, I've just changed my headset. I bought a new set of headphones. I hope it is working.
Yeah, seems to be working quite well so far. Okay, everyone, we are back. Please turn on your videos. So let's start the meeting today, and this is our first segment. But before that, about today's theme. Today's theme is zoom out. Now, it is ironic since we are on Zoom, but this is not that Zoom. What I mean by zoom out is that in the grand scheme of things, everything becomes insignificant. So sometimes perhaps we are too obsessed with our problems. Sometimes we are too obsessed with what a bad day we are having. But we don't think that maybe a week later, a month later, a year later, it will pass. As Toastmaster Azhar said, nothing lasts forever. The good times don't last forever. The bad times don't last forever as well. Take a look at your childhood. All you remember is the good times, isn't it? Isn't it true that while all of you were in school, all of us were in school, we used to have nightmares about tests and exams and the bullies that we faced in school, and some of the teachers who used to bully us, and our parents' expectations, and our competition with our cousins, and difficult subjects to understand, which we were forced to take because we didn't have any choice, or unforeseen incidents that happen with almost every kid, or disputes. It used to be a minefield which we navigated through. We survived. And we used to think back at that time that, let us grow up a little, let us get to O levels of metric, then things will improve. Once we get there, everybody tells us that, okay, just let's get to college. Then you'll see the world will change. We go through college in the same pain and misery, and then we go through university or some other learning, and we enter practical life. Either we seek a job or we start a business, and then people tell us that, just let this thing pass. Just finish your studies, and then everything will settle down. What we discover is that when we do enter practical life, it brings a whole new set of problems. So all we are doing throughout this time is exchange one set of problems with another set of problems. In the practical life, people tell us that this is the starting phase of your career. So yeah, work hard and grin and bear whatever comes your way. And then you will see, then you will really begin to enjoy. When does one really begin to enjoy anything? Absolutely never, because we are not allowed. We are always told to look towards the future, that you need to work towards this goal and this goal and this goal and this goal, and then everything will be perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. And by the time we get to where we were aspiring to be, we realize that the new position, the new stage has brought its own set of problems, and perhaps the times that we have missed in blind anticipation of where we are now, those were the good times. So I will show you a picture, and I want you to guess what it is. So yeah, can everyone see what this is? Just a wild guess.
A close-up picture of skin.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for bursting my bubble. That's exactly what it is. And this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when zoomed out. So the lesson here is that, this quote is not mine, but I like it very much. If you look at anything closely enough, everything secretly sucks. So let's not zoom in on everything so much. So for example, our schools, our workplaces. Have you ever heard anyone praise their kid's school? No, I haven't. Nobody says to you that, yeah, the school's really good, my kids are doing really well. They will instead say, oh, no, don't even go near it. It's horrible. It has this problem, this problem, this problem. And yet they fail to explain that why their own kids are in that school since last 10 years. Similarly, about the workplace. If you ask someone, how's their office, how's their workplace like, they will only tell you about the drawbacks, the shortcomings, because we are all focused with a microscope, and under a microscope, nothing looks pretty. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's consider things in a greater perspective, and perhaps a lot of our problems will go away. So the message well taken, Mr. Timer. Let's move on to the prepared speeches, and our first speech is by, just give me a second. Okay, our first speech is by Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, and his evaluator is DTM Shahrukh Shanawaz. So DTM Shahrukh Shanawaz, please introduce the speech and the speaker. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So Toastmaster Latif, he's going to be presenting his project from Motivational Strategies, Level 3, Elective Connect with the Storytelling. The title of his speech is The Only Arm, and the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note it down. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. Toastmaster Latif, wish you all the best.
Before I start, may I request if everyone can switch on their cameras, if possible. Those who have already switched on, please do not off. In January 21, 1910, there was a best shooter born in Budapest, Hungary. And not only he was born, but he had a dream. After his studies, he decided to join the Hungarian army. And while at the age of 26, he had decided that he will be the best shooter of the world. As he was growing, practicing in his army and everywhere, by the age of 26, he had received or conquered all the national champions. He was well aware that the Olympics are in 1940, so the practice is hard. Right at 1940, he wanted to participate for the Olympics. And look what happened. As he was the sergeant at the Hungarian army, he could not participate because only the commission levels and up can participate in Olympics. He was distressed. He do not wanted to be that kind of player that he cannot participate. Though he could not leave his dream. He could not sleep because his dreams were not letting him sleep. This band or this uncompete denial was his first obstacle towards the path of having and achieving the history. Though the sergeant rules were waived off after the Berlin Games. So he was all geared up for 1944 Olympics. Here, he had only one thing, that he wants to participate and give the best shooting arm. 2 years before only, just right 2 years before, his shooting arm, where he was doing the practice with army grenades, a faulty grenade exploded in his right hand. The best hand, the shooting arm. He was left alone. And let me pause for a minute and just ask you for a question. What would you do when you think that the only way to achieve your dream, or the only dream, you have lost that arm? I'm sure you all, or we all will be distressed. We all will be holding our heads and thinking, why this happened to me? Same happened to this guy, Carly. He had all the sympathy. Everyone came to say, it's okay, be brave, that's fine. But he was not even bothered of what he has lost. Instead of focusing on what he has lost, he was focusing on what he has. And for the next 1 year before Olympics, he had to qualify for the nationals. He went and started practicing with his left arm. This left arm was the arm which he cannot write a sentence, and he wanted to write a history, to make and achieve, to get a gold medal. Friends, it's not easy when you have the best arm loosed out. Only the left hand. He practiced, and the day when he went for the national competition, every one of his colleagues or friends was sorry and was encouraging him to that. He came to encourage the participants. He said, sorry, I'm not here to encourage you all. I'm here to compete. And look what happened. He won the national champions. And again on the newspapers, the famed everywhere, it was only Carly who's going to win the Olympics, or he's going to represent the Hungary. Life was not easy for him because that 1940 and 1944, two consecutive Olympic Games did not happen due to World War. This does not stop him yet. Still, he was practicing and participated in the year 1948. At that age, in 1948, he was 38 years of age. And he won the gold medal. Not only gold medal, he won the consecutive following Olympic Games, a gold medal. And he was the historian to have the two medals at one stretch. Consecutive. But the champions don't sleep there. He still participated till the last breath. And in the next Olympics, though he came 8th, just wanted to tell you that no matter whatever it is your passion what drives you out. Don't focus on what is lost, because everyone else were participating with their best shooting hand, but he was participated with his only arm. No matter what happens in life, there are obstacles. But if you focus on what you have instead of what you have lost, there are a lot of, and even I can say, sky is the limit. Please focus on your dream and look of what you have in with you. You can win with your only hand, no matter whatever the circumstances are. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lateef, for that inspiring story. Sometimes you need to zoom out of haters and detractors and instead zoom into your future. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Mohammad Azhar Khan, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Imran. Please introduce the speaker and the project.
So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Toastmaster Azhar Khan, we all know, is a very dedicated Toastmaster, and he has started his second pathway that is called motivational strategy, if I'm correct. Today, he will going to deliver his level 1's third speech, that is about research and presenting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Time duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Speech title is, Toastmaster Azhar always come up with an interesting speech title. So the speech title is, just a minute. Yes, speech title is Nothing Lasts Forever. Nothing lasts forever. Toastmaster Azhar, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, my evaluator. Today, my presentation is strategic relationship, research and positioning. Speech title, last moment I have changed. Sorry, I'm working on the public speaking because any the time last never ending. So I quick change my title. Please accept my apologies. So today I'm sharing public speaking. We all guys, Toastmasters, we are public speakers, and many people around the globe, they are speaking very well. But I have gathered some research, some content about the public speaking. Whenever I read the public speaking, any book, any topic, so my mind goes think about around the 3,000 years back. The study public speaking began around 2000 500 years ago, or around 3,000 years back. First and foremost, I'm introduced to my hero, Aristotle. I like Aristotle and Plato because I read about them. They are both guys are very superb, excellent. So basically, Aristotle was a Greece Athenian philosopher and classical ancient teacher and very guide person. Aristotle is one of the most famous scholar at the time, and still we are learning his books and other stuffs. Second, his student is Plato. Plato was a very superb and very Athenian poet and writer, and he's very creative thinker person. He wrote many books and many things in their life. And around 2000 2500s, we are learning about him and his books. First, I want to introduce Romans. After that, after Greece, basically Plato and Aristotle both are belong to Greece. But after that, we are talking about the Romans. Romans very culture very difficult and very like a drama and poetry. They belongs to work very hard in their in public speaking, and then poetry other elements. And then I'm talking about the medieval period, 400th century to 400 from 400th century to 1400th century. Basically, they in contrast to develop the modification and took the place during the classical period. The medieval age was considered a dark space, but they work very well about the public speaking and other stuff. Then we're talking about the Renaissance from 1400th century to 1600th century. Renaissance period saw the rise of new intellectual and rhetoric who emphasized for the style of the public speaking. Enlightenment from century 1600 to 1800. Enlightenment period was a very considered to be bridge between the past and the present. Then we are talking about the new school. New school means around after 1857, we have learned about the many poets, many writers, many public speaker. I learned about the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, Maulana Azad, and Namani Shabli. They are Persian and Urdu writer and speakers. Especially I talk about the Urdu language. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan worked very well. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan wrote many books, many literature in English and Urdu because he was a very superb and excellent person. And after that, his students Maulana Azad, Altaf Hussain Hali, and Namani Shabli, they work very well, and they start a very movement. They introduced to their language, and they introduced to them themselves. Now, new school, some consider some content. Now I'm reading this content. The new school consider public speaking as a separate field to study. Communication department have the professor and structure to teach about the classical and modern literature. For instance, Toastmasters is a one such training organization that and the teaching its member public speaking skills. It's very honor for us. Toastmaster International have everywhere they're working. These are non-profit organization. They are working well, and they are giving to us the training for the. They are motivating us for public speaking, and we can talk to each other easily, and we can describe our feelings anywhere. But I cut the story of the Sir Syed Khan, but I just want to discuss about Sir Syed and Altaf Hussain Hali because they got very sacrifice in their life. So we once in our life we should read about them because they around 40 years or around or plus 40 years they work very well, and they have been faced a very difficult and worse situation because at the time 1857 revolution, you know about it, is a very difficult situation, and some migrations, some fighting wars, but they were emphasizing on the reading and writing, poetry, public speaking. They never stopped their work. we salute to all guys, because they did something in their past. Now we are learning more and more elements, and we are working on creative thinking and other contents. So these are my some little bit research work on public speaking. I hope so you got my point. If anyone any question that you can ask me, I'll give you answer. Anyone have any question? From Girish to of New School, Consider Republic. Okay, no problem. Otherwise, back to you, Toastmaster of Day. This is my research and presentation. Over to you, Toastmaster. Okay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Azhar, for sharing your knowledge with us and really zooming into the art of public speaking. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Rabia Tabassum Zishan, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. Toastmaster Latif, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Am I audible? Am I clear? Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, my target speaker is Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, and we normally say what goes around comes around. So last week she was my evaluator, so this time it's my duty to evaluate her speech. Here you go. Miss Rabia Zishan is starting her level 5 project, which is prepared to speak professionally. And this is for the timer 18 to 20 minutes project. The purpose statement of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. So this will be like a keynote speaker, like where we professionally train ourselves and go and speak in the audience which are not familiar to us, but here we practice and our real life skills. So Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, speech title, Miracles of Education. Miracles of Education, Toastmaster Rabia Zishan. Good luck.
Thank you so much, TM Latif. Am I audible? And I would like to also share my screen. Yes, it's okay. How do I see the timer when I'm sharing this screen? Can somebody guide me?
You can just pin me.
Yes, I have already pinned you. But if I share the screen.
Toastmaster Tala, if possible, if you can give that
okay,
spotlight.
It's okay.
Spotlight.
In the view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I have.
We'll give you a notification.
Just a second. Just a second.
Mhm.
Okay, and just a second. What if I give the spotlight to our timer? Just
Yes,
give me a
yes,
second.
please.
No, sir. Then the speaker screen will always show him in the recording.
Oh.
Just a second.
It's. I've timed the. I've pinned the timer. I've pinned the timer. I can see him.
Yeah, this is
That's
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll start again. Thank you so much, TM Latif, for introducing me. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. Today, I would like to tell all of you a story. And I believe, and I really hope that you all can remember this story for a long, long time. This is the story of Madiha and the miracles of education. It is 2009 in a very small village in Saint Salepat, barefoot under the blazing sun, waded Madiha through a throng of busy shoppers carrying a small bowl, begging bowl, when Miss Saima saw her for the first time. Miss Saima remembers clearly that Madiha had a strange gleam in her eyes. Miss Saima recalls, Madiha held out her hand to her Miss Saima said, Dhi, which means daughter. Would you like to go to a school instead? Madhiya's face shone in brightness and she was very excited. Miss Saima then took Madhiya's little hand and took her to her house, where she convinced her parents to let this shy little girl Madhiya and send her to school, which was really unheard of in the community of Madhiya, which was the begging community. A few days later, sitting on a charpai, which is a woven bed, we can see Madhiya in her school uniform with her old grandmother, feeble old grandmother. Miss Saima had given admission to teach Madhiya in the Citizens Foundation School. Miss Saima was the principal of Citizens Foundation School, and she had seen Madhiya begging with her grandmother on the streets of Salepat in a busy shopping area. This was the first time a girl from the begging community was going to school, and it was a huge day for Madhiya. And she had a smile on her face. Do you want to know what happened to Madhiya? Fast forward to 2021. This is Madhiya, and she is preparing for her matriculation examinations in the Citizens Foundation. She is a confident and not so shy girl anymore. She is the brightest student in the class with 100% attendance, says her teacher. Madhiya's self-confidence was shining through. A little girl who was on the verge of losing her future to beggary was saved. Madhiya says, I want to end this social problem of beggary and do not want to see any girl or boy spending their childhood begging on the streets. This is the miracle of education. Every time I hear Madhiya's stories, my heart is filled with emotions, and I am reminded and remotivated to give my 100% to the cause of education and to the cause of the Citizens Foundation. We have countless miracle stories like these of TCF alumni who went to the Citizens Foundation and changed their lives for better. TCF Foundation never ceases to amaze me or flabbergast me. I have been volunteering with the Citizens Foundation since 2018. I joined it as a Rehbar volunteer. And I was feeling so noble and so charitable that I'm giving out this, my precious time as a mother and as a wife and a homemaker and helping these children of our nation. I was so wrong. It is these children who helped me. They helped me find a purpose in my life. They helped me identify my potentials. These children and the organization, TCF Foundation, gave a direction to my life and motivated me to use my potentials. If you meet these children, you'll be amazed to see what passion they have, what great aims they have in their lives. They have so little in which has been given to them, yet they aim for the highest. They made me realize that if Allah has given me potential and talent, I should not take it for granted. And I should be grateful for what I have and use it to change lives for better and to make this community and this nation better. The Citizens Foundation is a professionally managed non-for-profit organization. It was set up in 1995 by a group of friends who wanted to bring a positive change in the society. And they really thought about what should they do. They could build a hospital, they could open a place where people could get free food, they could also open an old home or an orphanage. There were many ideas, but that one idea which everyone agreed was that if we provide good quality, sound education to everyone, most of the other problems will be eradicated from the society as a whole. Now, in 2021, the Citizens Foundation has changed from 5 schools from 1995 to 1,687 schools nationwide, making it the largest organization of schools running as a non-profit organization. And they are doing an amazing job and giving good quality education. The vision of TCF is positive change and to remove the barriers of class and privilege to make the citizens of Pakistan agents of positive change. And believe me when I say that I have met these TCF alumni, I have seen them giving back to the society. I've seen them giving back when they do not have enough to give. When COVID hit last year, and we went into a complete lockdown for 4 to 5 months, most of the parents of the Citizens Foundation children are daily wagers, and they lost their jobs and they had no income. TCF at that time pledged that they will give 20% of all the donations and all the zakat they are getting and give it as a relief to their community. Would you believe it that the TCF alumni who had already shifted to cities to continue their education, they all came back to help TCF. They all came and they visited the communities and they looked for the people who were most affected by the COVID. And then all the grocery items and the cash money, which was arranged by TCF, was given to these people very privately, without any marketing, so that their dignity was not hurt. This was done by the TCF alumni because they are agents of positive change, which are made by the school. Mission, please, 5 minutes baad aana beta. Thank you. Mission of TCF is education and future through the power of quality education, enabling moral, spiritual, and intellectual alignment. And you can see that in the students. These students know what they have to do. They keep their school clean, they keep their environment clean, they plant trees. As a project, they are told to plant trees in class 5 or 6, and then they look at after it till they're in metric, so that the plant is all grown and built into a tree. And they know how to take care of it. They know what is the importance of trees and greenery in our society. They know what is the importance of cleanliness in our society and how they can make their own community better. So this is what TCF is doing, and this is how it is bringing such a positive change in the world. The values that TCF holds very true, very close to heart, are integrity, ownership, and continuous improvement. I have seen the teachers, the staff, the people, and the students. They own their school, they own their community, and they own their city and the nation and the people who are living with them. And they're always trying to improve themselves, whether it's for leadership, whether it's in their studies, whether it's for their environment. They are always looking for ways how to improve themselves. So these are the values which are very clearly held by the Citizens Foundation. One of the best things which I like about the Citizens Foundation, and I haven't seen in anywhere in any other organization, is their alumni development program. You must have heard about many other schools who are running like an NGO, but they only give education till grade 10. After that, what the child is doing, has he got an admission in a college? Is he applying for higher education or not? Nobody cares to follow. TCF makes sure that their alumni get good education in also inter and also in higher universities. I went to the TCF college in Kangyumabad. There is only one TCF inter college which is available right now. So the rest of the students who do not get admission in TCF, they go to government colleges. And you know that we do not have a good quality education provided in many of our government colleges. So people and the children have to take tuition at tuition centers. The TCF makes sure that they give scholarships to the students for these tuition centers even, so that their child who they have invested for in 10 years in the TCF school do not get left behind because they could not pursue their education in inter or afterwards. Similarly, when these students are ready after giving their inter examinations and they have to give interviews and entry test examinations for institutes like the NED, IBA, ICRA University, Indus University, and many others, the alumni development programs gives them a grooming for 1 or 2 months on how to speak, how to dress up, how to not get scared when meeting many people, because the students of the Citizens Foundation live in their community. They have never been outside. This is the first time they'll be stepping out of their comfort zone and going into the main city and meeting people from even O levels and A levels, the students and their peers will be who have had education from private schools. So they are groomed and given grooming classes and English language classes for 1 or 2 months so that they gel up easily with their peers and their fellows. Apart from this, they are given scholarships for their higher education also. And the ownership I was talking about in the previous slide, we have seen TCF alumni getting full scholarships for institutes like NED and many other ICRA universities and SMC, DMC. And after 2 years of getting the scholarship, the TCF students themselves, the alumni themselves, come and inform the alumni department that now I'm giving tuitions and I can pay half of my fees. So please, I need only half the scholarship and I want so that you can give the other half to other deserving students who might be ready to take admissions. These children who are coming out of TCF are so well aware of their responsibilities that they do not take any extra advantage of the sponsorships, and they want their fellow TCF students to get these scholarships also. So the moment they start earning, the moment they can support themselves and their higher educations, they start to give back by denying the scholarships. Or for example, a student I know, because my friend is a teacher in a TCF college, that he started with 100% of scholarship. Then after 2 years, he said he needs only 50%. And after 3 years, he said, I'll only be needing 25% because I can now manage my own 75% of the tuition fees of my institute. So alumni development program is one thing which really made me believe that the investment we'll be doing on the students from grade 1 till 10 will not go to waste, because TCF will make sure that its students get good quality education in inter as well as they get in higher education. And I have seen TCF provide opportunities to their students for scholarships in countries like USA and UK also. So many children have gone to study abroad on scholarships which were given by the TCF Foundation, or they work and they provide guidance and mentorship to their students how to apply for these international scholarships. This is one thing which makes TCF stand out amongst all the other organizations which are providing good quality education. COVID crisis and the TCF support to its communities. Another thing which I really liked about TCF was the empathetic nature of all the people who are working in TCF and all the volunteers. Even the teachers are very empathetic towards their communities. Most of the teachers are taken from their own communities. We have many TCF alumni students, girl students who are working as TCF teachers now. When the COVID hit, a lot of people took out their children from school because they could not pay the monthly fees. At that time, TCF stepped forward and gave scholarships to their, even more scholarships to their students, and provided them even relief for their daily expenses. as I had explained earlier. One more thing which TCF did to make the education continue was to provide, to make different ways to keep the education continue. They made magazines, which fortnightly magazines, they were printed for 15 days according to class wise, and they were like workbooks according to each grade. The parents were asked to take one workbook and then bring it after 15 days so that the child is kept in touch with the education. Also, one of the things which TCF did was TV-based edutainment in collaboration with the Pakistan's Television's Tele School and the Federal Ministry of Education. I don't know if you all knew that. We went into lockdown in February 2020, February or March 2020. And in April, May 2020, Pakistan government launched their teleschool, an entire channel which is dedicated to education. There is a timetable which they follow. For example, class 1 and class 2 will have their lectures shown on Monday, and similarly like this. So each grade's lectures are shown on the Pakistan Television School. What TCF did was make a very energetic program called Ilm Ka Angan, which was aired on Sundays on Pakistan Television's Teleschool, and it was specially made to target the pre-primary and the small children, because all the lectures were for the elder students, for the students of class 7th and 8th, and nobody was focusing on the pre-primary students, which were aged from 2 years of age till 10 years of age. Ilm Ka Angan was basically made to focus on these small young children. And it had one of the segment in it, which was called Suno Kahani, which was done by Sania Saeed. And this was an amazing way to keep education going. And if you all get a chance, do watch the Ilm Ka Angan and show it to your children, because it's an amazing learning experience. Me and my son used to watch it every week, and it is also available on the TCF's YouTube channel. This is something. The Citizens Foundation is an organization which is really making change in the society, and I am really working hard to tell people and to raise awareness for this organization. The more I work with this organization, the more I get to know how amazing work this organization is doing at every level. And I'm sure that I still have to unfold the many things which this organization does. I hope you'll remember the story of Madiha, and you'll also visit the Citizens Foundation website to see what amazing works they are doing and to see the miracles of education in the success stories. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, for that absorbing account of what TCF does and interweaving your own personal journey with that of TCF. I would like to share one more thing about TCF to everyone present here. During the lockdown, when all the schools were closed, TCF delivered. No teacher or principal or staff member was left without a salary, even though the schools were closed. They did not spend 1 hour in schools for several months, but the salaries were delivered right to the doorsteps because of COVID restrictions. Staff was employed to deliver the salaries on their doorsteps. Yes, Toastmaster Rabia.
They were delivered their fees 5 days before their payday, so that they do not have a financial crisis at home, because most of the spouses were not getting a job. They were daily wages themselves.
So with that, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia Zishan. And it's time for our next speaker of the day, who is Toastmaster Kareem Meghani. And his evaluator is myself. So I will introduce his project. Toastmaster Kareem Meghani is delivering his Level 3 of motivational strategies, and I believe it's an elective using presentation software. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce and review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance the speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. And heaven knows how those 2 points are different, but they're written there, so I had to relate. The member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic. The topic should lend itself well to using presentation software. Watch for clear, legible, effective slides that enhance the speech and the topic. The speech may be humorous, information, or any style of members choosing. So, at first, it should be a speech, a great speech that should be enhanced by presentation software. So, no pressure, Toastmaster Karim Meghani. His speech title is Review of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Review of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Toastmaster Karim. Who is the timer for this? Toastmaster Latif, can you please volunteer, or maybe Toastmaster Imran?
Toastmaster Latif already volunteered. I think he put the background timer.
Oh, wow. Wow, amazing. He's always there. He never lets anyone else volunteer for timer. Okay, there he is. Okay.
Okay. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One book which changed my life. And today, I would be talking about this book particularly, that how it changed my life and how it can change your lives also. And I just want to know, are you really interested to make a change in your life? If yes, you can just thumbs up. So the change in your life, let's start the journey. Toastmaster of the day, dear Toastmasters and guests. Today I'll be reviewing one of my favorite book, and this book is always with me in my office since last 10 years. And this book really worked with me a lot. Stephen R. Covey, it's an American writer, is now, he died already, but this guy made this book several years ago, and it was sold to million copies to the world. And what this book brings to the people, it brings your inside habits. Do you know what is the meaning of a habit? Stephen Covey defined this habit definition in his book also. The habit is turned into 3 things: knowledge, skills, and attitude. So if you are in a particular habit, you know the knowledge of that particular thing, you have the skills of that particular thing, and you should have that kind of attitude which links to that habit, and that makes you a person which can be very effective. So that's a wonderful thing about this book, that this is touch your heart really inside. Let me move on my slide. This book, this was in 2018. You will see a French thing also simultaneously going on, because I did this presentation in French also recently. So there are, I made some changes, but there are some French things also there. So you will see in this book is 2018, 40 million copies were sold. 40 million copies were sold, and this book was a world bestseller. Covey basically started this book talking about your particular attitude, our own attitude. When we are born, we are usually dependent. When we are born, we are dependent. Just think back and reflect. We are dependent on our parents. We are dependent on someone to take care of us. And then when you are dependent on something, then you move, as you grow in your age, you become independent. And once you become independent, when you are growing up, when you are 12, you are 13, you are 14, you are 15, you are becoming independent. Now you are more and more getting educated, learning about yourself, learning about the life, and then you grow yourself. So after independence, you reach to one level when you become interdependent. And Kavi said that effective people in this book, he said that they are really interdependent because our nature created us in a very interdependent way. You look at this photo, if you see on your on my side, it is on the right side. This is telling you about a tree, how interdependent our life is. A tree is interdependent because it depends on the sun. A tree grows with the sun, water, everything we take care of the environment, it is all interdependent. So what Kavi said in this book, that if you really want to make a difference in your life, if you really want to become an effective person, you need to be interdependent. You need to learn how to be interdependent. Then, you know, if in this picture, if you can see, there are series of habits. So what Kavi explained very beautifully in this book, that each habit comes from the beginning and then it go up. It grows. It grows to you. It grow you as a person from the beginning till then. I'm already 5. So then, you know, the first habit, when he talks about in particular ethics. You know, in this book, he talked about that, you know, your habits are divided into 2 parts. One is your personality ethics and one is your character ethics. You know, this is an iceberg of human life. You know about iceberg if you watch Titanic. What you see on the top, in the sea, inside, it's a big, deep ocean, and the iceberg is really big. Your character is inside. Your personality is outside. But if your character is good, if you are good in your character habits, you move to your personality habits. And your personality will grow as an effective person. First habit, it talks about be proactive. Be proactive, it says, as the meaning, you know, the word says, that, you know, you are always the first person. You're always positive. You'll make decision. I'm in charge of my life. Always in charge of your life. Second habit, and this is a character habit, that if you are effective, you need to be positive. Second thing he says, whenever you start something, begin with the end in mind. And probably I didn't do it with my presentation today. So that's why I'm on habit 2. I need to finish habit 7 now. The next habit is habit 3. Prioritize your things. Put first thing first. And he divided the time management skills to you. If you want to be effective, divide your time properly. Prioritize things properly. These will build your character, and then your personality will come out. And your personality habit is win-win. Always think about win-win. Another thing he says, seek to understand before understood. Whatever I'm saying, try to understand others before to be understood. And then he talks about, look at this picture, this beautiful picture, synergy. When you talk about synergy, we always looking for an exciting option of making a sharing, making a bond between someone else, learn from others, synergize your efforts. You cannot do alone, you are interdependent. So what Kavi explained to this, that achieving this all habits, you need to be really strong. For making you strong, the last habit, sharpen your saw. And sharpen a saw is what? That if you want to cut a tree, your saw should be sharpened. I want to be effective, I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my body. I need to take care about my mind. I need to take care about my heart and soul. If you take care of these all things, you can do everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a book which really it can change you. So this is a book presented to you. I hope you will like it. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani. And thank you for zooming into 7 habits of highly effective people. You know, only the other day I was wondering, people who write all these self-help and motivational books, which self-help and motivational books did they actually read? So it's kind of an infinite loop, and I won't get into the details because it ain't pretty. But one thing is for sure, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one of the most quoted and cited books I've ever seen. So much so that even if you haven't read it, you're as good as reading it because you've seen so many quotations. And what makes me wonder further is that I do all these things that are written in these 7 habits, but I'm not effective. So maybe there's some 8th mystery habit that Stephen Covey has saved for subsequent books. And yes, he has a lot of books, but thank you so much for giving us that insight. And I should thank our speakers today from the bottom of my heart, because your speeches, all of them, were truly insightful and they really, really added to our knowledge today. So I believe the first 3 speakers were qualified, but Toastmaster Latif, I'm sure Toastmaster Kareem is not, but you can confirm.
Happily, I'm not disqualified.
The 7 habits were not explained in 7 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so being conveniently the vote counter, I will float the poll now for best speaker. And just a heads up, through a cosmic tragedy, a cosmic sequence of tragedies, my laptop charger went dead this morning, and my laptop is about to run out of charge, and the replacement charger will be arranged from office, needless to say, not before tomorrow. So during some time in the meeting, I'll have to log out and log in from my mobile, and the admin rights will need to be taken over maybe by Toastmaster Latif or maybe Toastmaster Adiyashur. So just a heads up. Okay, we have our complete poll today. And with that, we move on to the second segment of the meeting, which is the table topics. And of course, today's table topics master is one of the most beloved members of Karachi Toastmasters Club, who is always there in every meeting and whose presence in every meeting cannot be denied or ignored or set aside, because she ensures that she makes it felt. So without further ado, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan, our table topics master.
Thank you for such a warm introduction, Toastmaster of the evening. Okay, as the table topic master, zoom out means looking at the big picture. In today's day and era, we are all involved in our own selfish world, and not many of us care to think about the problems of society. We as human beings are very self-centered and always put our needs and desires above others. However, in recent times, over the past 1.5 years, problems have been escalating, especially due to this coronavirus issue. And it is time that we need to zoom out from our lives and look at the bigger picture. Okay. I'll call speakers one by one, as we all know. The first one is all our members. Okay, I'll call everyone's favorite TM Mariam Aftab Kidwai. Please, can you unmute yourself and switch on your camera? TM Mariam, are you there?
You may call to the next speaker.
Okay. How about Mr. VP himself in the flesh? TM Imran Rana, who always avoids the camera. TM Imran, the stage is yours. I'm going to drill you. Okay. So please let me see if your camera and are you there even? Oh yes, you are.
Toastmaster Heba, you are not clearly audible. Could you please speak loudly?
Okay, sorry. So the next situation is yours, Mr. VP, Mr. TM Imran. Okay, we should try to help less privileged people and people struggling with small business, especially during this testing time. If you had the opportunity to help someone, what would you do? Please use the phrase of the day, which TM Adyashar said.
Could you please repeat the topic once again? You are not audible.
Okay. Am I audible right now?
Yes.
Okay. We should try to help less privileged people and people struggling with small businesses, especially during this testing time. If you had the opportunity to help someone, what would you do? Please use phrase of the day.
Okay, thank you so much, Table Topic Master, for this amazing topic. Okay, what I would do, I will definitely help him out, because helping other is a good habit. And in this way, if you are helping someone, then in future you will get it. It's more like paid forward. Once you help any person, in future you will get help from somewhere else. So what I would do before helping him, I would get some research about him. That means if he's really in need. If he's not, then I won't help him. But if he is really a needy person, then I would go beyond the way to help him out, and not only go with other people to seek help for him, and try to help him out from that difficulty. So I would definitely help him out. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Okay, moving on. My next victim would be DTM Shahrukh Shanawaz. Please, can you unmute yourself? Okay. DTM Shahrukh, there has been a huge rise in the environmental issues worldwide and also in our country. We have seen heavy and inconsistent rainfall in the past couple of years, especially this as well. However, there are other environmental factors as well damaging the environment, such as pollution and too much garbage in our nearby vicinity. As we all know, what can you do to prevent it?
Thank you, Toastmaster Heba. Am I audible?
Yes.
Well, environmental crisis. Thank you, Table Topic Master. This is a very, very serious issue, if I am being serious with all my heart, because now the environment is becoming a serious issue for everyone. The unscheduled rains and attacks from all kinds of bugs, as we have seen, which are destroying the crops, and so on and so forth. And there are some also serious implications of environment which we are also not considering. For instance, recently there is an there is this danger of facing a huge amount of refugee coming from Afghanistan. But we have failed to take into account that so many refugee crises are being taken place due to environmental crisis. Drought is taking place, famine is taking place, which is forcing people to leave their places and to move to new places. And the new places, the people in these new places are scared, feared, and afraid to share their resources. Another aspect of environment is that these drastic changes are also contributing towards conflicts. When there is famine, when there is drought, and there are limited resources, people are fighting with each other over these resources. The water issue and the distribution of water in Pakistan is nothing new. Every Pakistani in each of the provinces is facing this issue. But what we are doing about it, it is still not clear. The recent UN report has said that that there are some changes which have occurred in this in our environment which are not going to be turned back. They are permanent changes, and we are to be blamed. And if that report is taken seriously in future, the economic sanctions can be imposed upon all the countries on the basis of environment. So it is high time that we think about this issue and we start saving resources, taking all the precautions for ourselves and for our future generations. Back to table topic, Master.
Okay. Moving on. Then I have okay, there's this person, Imran Mahmood Chaudhary. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, all right.
Yes. Okay. Educational institutes such as schools and universities and colleges have been opening and closing over the past year and a half at different intervals. I have heard a lot of my close cousins and friends complain. Don't you think the government should come up with a permanent solution rather than creating this chaos? Please use the phrase of the day.
Yeah, so nothing lasts forever. And I think this says a lot about the law of the universe as well, because entropy is something that is the universal law. And same goes for our educational system, because educational systems have been developed since the one that we are following, it has been developed since World War II, and it hasn't been changed. And the times of pandemic has actually shown us that it's a high time for us to take measures to do something about it. Now, since the world is changing fast towards online, and this I'm sure will be something that nothing lasts forever encompasses as well. So we need to be dynamic. But for the time being, since nothing lasts forever, we should have terms in terms of decision makers who can implement and test out whatever the best solutions would be. And during the time, I think, again, because nothing lasts forever, it is the system that's going to teach us how are we are going to progress in future. Back to you, Table Master.
You're muted, Toastmaster.
Sorry. Can you please, TM Zora unmute herself?
Why not me?
Okay. TM Noreen, the stage is yours. Let me give you a solution.
I think, sorry, Toastmaster, I think first give the chance to Toastmaster Zora, then you can come to Toastmaster Noreen, right?
Yes, I told her to unmute. So
yeah, she did unmute, in fact.
Okay. So
she is our member.
Okay.
I'm not member.
Oh God, yes, you are. You will get your chance.
You are the
Guys,
old one.
stop talking. You are making it worse. So yeah, let's go to Toastmaster Zora first and Toastmaster Noreen afterwards.
Okay.
Get it?
So first, TM Zora will have a chance, then TM Nori. Okay, TM Zora. Also, over the year or so, we have seen a rise in women harassment issues in our country, and it is high time that the government takes strict action against it. What could you do if you were part of the government? Please use the phrase of the day.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we say nothing lasts forever, I won't say that people of Pakistan are thinking that nothing will last forever when it comes to mindset evolution in Pakistan, because people need to be educated. It's not just things cannot just change by taking action when things go wrong. If I was in government, I would have made sure that we would have started a campaign to educate, people of every, what do I say? So yeah, to educate people of every level, especially men, how to behave with women in public and private spaces. And this cannot be a one-off thing. This has to go on for years so that it actually creates impact. So yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Moving
Thank
on,
you.
TM Noreen.
Yes.
Coronavirus has been a time about self-isolation and living alone. However, the elders in our families/society have suffered because of it. I personally have seen my grandmother develop the Alzheimer disease because we stopped visiting her because paying weekly visits to her. This I've seen in such a this corona thing. So what should we do from our part to help such group of people in such times? And please use word of the day.
Okay. As nothing lasts forever. So we are in these corona times. I've seen that my mother has been very much worried because my grandmother is not well from last month. And what I did, we supported her and we said, although we cannot all go to Lahore and take care, so I took the charge and I took the responsibility to take care of the home and help my mom to leave home and go and visit and take care of her mother, because nothing lasts forever. We also want to take care of our loved ones. And what I realized in this COVID times, that only your parents and your close family relatives are your best assets. And we need to take care of themselves. They take care of, only we need to take care of those people, because at the end, no one would remember that what brand we wore, in which restaurants we had dinner. Only that will remember by people after when we will die is that how we made them feel with our actions, with our decisions, and with our words. So we need to take care of our close friends. They are our best priority. Rest is not leaving, and only these are our, I can say, our assets. So these are the first priority that we need to take care of themselves, and we need to manage those things so that we will be able to take care of our close ones and help them survive. Over to you, ma'am, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Okay, the last one is PM Imran Sheikh. Can you please switch on your camera and unmute yourself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Okay. There are still quite a number of people. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, there are still quite a number of people who haven't taken the vaccine and are scared because of it, mainly because of what they see in media negatively influencing us. We all know that how important it is to take vaccine, because without it there is probably less chance of survival. So what will you do to convince such a person? Please use the phrase of the day.
Thank you for the wonderful topic, which is the need of the day. As it is said, nothing lasts forever. So we should not be afraid of taking the vaccination because it is a precaution, and we need to take the precautions to avoid this pandemic to hit us and affect us. So I would like to say to the people who are resisting the vaccination campaign that vaccination is good for our immunity system. And although there are some rumors that vaccination hits our DNA or RNA and affects our health also adversely, but we should not relate to such things and follow the WHO guidance that says that we need to adopt the vaccination, and we need to take the vaccination so that we get this our immunity system and we are able to cope up with this pandemic in a nice fashion, and we are able to resume our work life balance the way things were going on before the pandemic. Although some things have changed drastically and we have moved to our online settings as well and hybrid sessions as well, but this vaccination campaign should not be affected, and we should be able to come back to our normal lives by taking the vaccination. By the way, I am also vaccinated and my family is also vaccinated. So I would appreciate that nothing happened to us and we are immune. So I would like all of you to take the vaccination and help us in the vaccination campaign. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Now I would like to ask the timer, has everyone qualified? Has everyone qualified?
Yes, everyone is qualified.
Okay. Now I would like to hand back the charge to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. In a race against the dying laptop, can the timer please quickly confirm to me the list of speakers that we had today?
Speakers, we had 4 prepared speakers, and we had 6 table topic speakers.
Yeah, no, actually, the names of the table topics. Okay, I will repeat them and you can confirm. Toastmaster Imran Rana, DTM Shahrukh Janawaz, Toastmaster Imran Mahmood Chaudhary, Toastmaster Zora, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, and Toastmaster Imran Sheikh. Am I right?
There were 3 Imrans, and I'm hopefully that one of them will win, inshallah.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Talab bin Hamid, all the speakers, table topic participants, table topic master. It was a wonderful meeting till now. But as we say, evaluation is the breakfast for the champions. A champion who doesn't have breakfast and enjoys a late night dinner is just a champion of name. So breakfast is important. Skipping of dinner is the champion's habit. As my procedure will be asking the evaluation and the facilitators to call on for the report. Firstly, I will have a little, if I have approval, I have to invite myself, right? For Toastmaster Rabia Zishan's evaluation. Yes. Okay. So we will go as per the first, just a little twist. The first evaluator will be myself. I was evaluating Toastmaster Rabia Zishan's speech. And allow me just 1 second to set up this camera. Give me 1 second. Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, your speech today not only reminded me of my volunteer dates, it even reminded me the joy, the participation, the excitement I used to enjoy those times. Till today, even if I just give a glass of water to the guy who delivers a parcel, it makes me feel happy. So very much touching speech, one and only way we can grow and make our place in heaven with our good deeds. So you touch our heart, not only by your words, by the way the organization has been developing. So thank you very much, first of all, for this. And let me tell you, the voice clarity, the structure, the grammatical way, or the spoken language, if I can say, even the gestures, your hand movements were amazing. You had knocked everything to that level of a keynote speaker requirement, because that's what needed. You have to keep the interest of the audience attached every minute. Now, if I have to evaluate a speech of a keynote speaker, these are the few things which, according to me, I feel you should apply, and it will help you to have a more audience followers. First of all, the presentation skills were needed in this project and which you had given it up. But I feel that in a keynote speaker, 50% is taken by that side screen of the screen share, and then this 25% is yours. Let alone if it has been a world presentation on the real stage, you could have shown the presentation on the wall and it was easier. But how about showing Madhya in this way, starting from her youth till the group, showing with the ladder, how does this TCF has helped it, with a small tree over here, which she planted as a root and finally had a tree. So these are the presentation skills would have helped more to avoid that screen. And similar way, you would have showed those integrity, the values and the alumni and everything on this. Until unless if there were pictures to be shared, I would have denied on this. Secondly, a speech like this can have one good topic, and that is Madhya, more than enough. Because if you had that Madhya from that basic childhood, from where you have picked her from the begging till the grow, you would have covered everything of TCF. So had it you involved all TCF, Madhya and everything and left Madhya until I was thinking the green light has come, the yellow has come, and I did not see more of Madhya because you started with her. So one Madhya and attach with her life through TCF would have made a splendid speech. Rest all was good. Thank you and keep growing. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Latif. Now let me invite our next speaker. Next speaker in line was myself, and my speech was evaluated by DTM Shahrukh Shanawaz. DTM Shahrukh Shanawaz, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif. I hope I am audible. Am I audible? Thank you. So Toastmaster Latif, today you presented your project for motivation strategies, level 3, elective, connect with storytelling. The title of the speech was The Only Arm. So what the areas that you excelled at, well, you started by asking the audience to turn on the cameras. So that actually demonstrated that you wanted to engage the audience and you were successfully able to involve the audience into your speech. So that is a plus point and I really appreciate it. Second, that your introduction was very strong. You started by saying that a shooter was born in Budapest. That kind of added a bit of drama and suspense, and we were all hooked that what is coming up next. So you really were successfully able to engage us all. Your voice modulation was great. You were standing up while you were delivering your speech. As Toastmaster Tala is always pushing us that yes, we need to stand up while we are delivering our speech, and you did that successfully. You demonstrated your hand gestures successfully. Your eye movements were again on spot because when we are giving our speeches in person or in physical meetings, it is very easy to look at the audience. But now in Zoom meetings, it is very difficult for us to constantly look at the camera. So you were constantly looking at the camera, and again, that is a plus point. During your speech, in the middle of the speech, you ask a question from all the audience. What would you do? Again, it is one of the best ways for the speaker to engage the audience. And your speech had a great content. And the lesson was, instead of focusing on what he lost, focusing on what he has. That is a memorable line. That is a beautiful phrase. And I think this is the important lesson that we have learned from your speech. And the best of all, from every idea, there was a smooth transition from one idea to the next. Areas you want to work on, well, honestly speaking, I can't think of anything. But if I really have to say something, if possible, you need some more space to move a bit. So since there was a chair and since there was a shelf, so you could not utilize the space. Usually you are flying everywhere. I have seen you deliver your speech and you are using everything. You are one of the very rare species of speakers who is able to utilize every resources and at his disposal. So the space was a bit small, but trust me, it did not affect your speech in any way. The lesson was clear. We will all engage and we will all enjoying everything, every word that you would say. So a great speech, wonderful delivery, great introduction, great demonstration of emotions, and you were successfully able to inspire us all, which is the essence of the art of storytelling. So general evaluator, back to you.
Thank you, DTM Shahrukh Shah Nawaz, for evaluating my speech. Yes, as we say, there is always area for improvement, and I will for sure try to put your comments into my next speech. Our next speech was delivered by Toastmaster Mohammad Azhar Khan, and wow, today I think he stole the show with his tie. And his speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Imran. Toastmaster Imran, the stage is yours.
First of all, confirm which Imran. Okay, I'm sure I'm audible. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, thank you so much for delivering such an insightful speech about the history and development of public speaking. Apologies for the incorrect speech title. You started with the origin of public speaking and gradually moved on from Aristotle to Plato to medieval, then Enlightenment, and finally to New School. In every period, you told us about the development made in public speaking in every era. It was quite interesting to know how public speaking undergoes through different changes. And finally, you told us about the Toastmasters, an amazing platform to learn public speaking and leadership skills. What I like about your speech was your presentation. It was quite good and eye-catching. You have mentioned about figures during your presentation. I would suggest if you could have provided the source of the information, it will add value to your speech. Secondly, I observed that throughout your speech, I felt your vocal variety was a little weak. It was monotonous throughout the speech. And sometimes I I was struggle to hear you. All you need to bring energy and vocal variety to your speech so that it could add value to your speech. And I've observed that most of the time you use that today I'm going to explain this and today I'm going to tell you this. There is no need for that. You are delivering your speech, so open up with a proper opening. There is no need to use that statement. It just devalue the speech and nothing. So avoid using that statement. Your overall content was in chronological order, but if you could have brought your own story, how it creates impact in your life, that would create an interest in your speech, that would develop an interest. So overall, you were pretty much confident. So I like the overall speech. Just work upon these changes, work upon these suggestion and feedback, and next time you will do wonders. With that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Now, are you ready, Karim? Because this is the tough. DTM Talha bin Hamid. He is evaluating Toastmaster Karim Meghani. DTM Talha bin Hamid, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. At first, I looked at the title in the agenda because, yes, I read the agenda, unlike a lot of people. I thought, how could this be translated into a presentation? And what good will it do? And how will it hold our attention? It turns out I need not have worried, because Toastmaster Karim Meghani, you made an exceptionally effective presentation out of this book. And I really, really like this style of giving a book report. It ended up enhancing and testing your presentation skills, and it ended up informing the audience of a lot of valuable strategies towards a successful life. So it was a win-win situation all around. You started, as usual, with sincerity, and the connection to the audience was instant and unbreakable throughout the speech. You always have that connection, a very, very strong connection. Also, the way you started, the pacing was a little bit relaxed. You took your time to get around to the actual topic. I don't know whether you are taking after my style, because Toastmaster Latif usually says that I take ages to get to the point. So I don't know, but what it ended up doing was throw you off the pace in terms of the fact that you needed to cover 7 points. So there comes my major improvement area, and that would be that you needed to pace it a little better, and perhaps you could create better coordination between the slide and what you were saying. That is my second improvement area, because you're capable of doing that. I've seen you creating a poetic relationship with what appears on the screen and what you're saying. Today it was missing. And I don't really blame you for it, because the project strictly did not ask for it, but it would have been good. And I also felt that some of your slides were too complex for the screen, because remember, slides are already hard to see on a big screen, and most of us are looking at these slides on our laptop screens. So some of the slides had too much data. You could have stuck to the basics, and that would have been good. Another improvement area is that due to you displaying the slides, you are looking slightly to the side throughout the presentation. And again, that is something that cannot be helped. So those were the things that took away a little bit. And since you were thrown off due to the timing, there was a notable dip in your enthusiasm when you realized that, you know, the yellow screen was there, the green screen was there. So again, you could have paced it better, but overall, very effective presentation and good use of presentation skills to give a book report, which I find very innovative, except for a few improvement areas, which I just pointed out. Over to you, General Evaluator.
DTM Tala, I would like to add one for his speech. When he started his speech, he said, the 7 points which changed my life. But following the speech, it was all 7 points which can change our lives. So I was interested about that, how that one habit has changed your life, in putting it to some example of your story, and it would be made it a 7 table topic sessions, and I don't know how you would have made it, but you could have completed. That's the only suggestion from my side. Now give me timer's report so that I should know that if I am qualified or.
Thank you for the comment first, TM Latif. It's always useful to listen comments from you, DTM, and others also. So the evaluation we have, I think slightly you are over time. It's 3 minutes 43 seconds, and others are 256. DTM Shahrukh, TM Imran's 2 minutes 55, and DTM Tala 3 minutes 28. So the president's decision. So you're muted, sir.
Sorry, can you repeat the first 2 timings?
TM Latif is 3:43, 3 minutes and 43 seconds. DTM Shahrukh, 2 minutes 56.
Okay.
TM Imran, 2 minutes 55, and DTM Tala, 3 minutes 28.
Okay, with the unfathomable pleasure and immense merriment, I announce that Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali is declared disqualified because 13 seconds is a little too much.
The float, the voting has been floated. The poll has been floated.
I'm sorry, Toastmaster Latif, you've been winning the best evaluator for past so many weeks. So going over time by 13 seconds, sorry, was like a little too much.
Maybe I was excited with the chart which I created. Okay, so 2 more votes and I can. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and the poll has been ended. Okay. Now, every meeting, we always are incomplete if we don't have facilitators to help us, such as timer, the R counter, the grammarian, the word master, everything. So let me invite first the grammarian. Yeah, table topic master, table topic evaluator was Toastmaster Imran Rana, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. First of all, hats off to Toastmaster Hiba for putting us in different situations with your table topics, and all those topics were relevant and aligned with the theme. Our first speaker was DTM Shahrukh Shanabaz. You spoke quite well about the topic. Your vocal variety and facial expressions were perfectly aligned with your speech. You highlighted about environmental issues, specifically about water issue. You spoke quite well with good confidence. You may use hand gestures to enhance your speech. Overall, it was quite amazing and quite good. Second speaker, we have guest Imran Mahmood Chaudhary. From your speech, the way you speak, you are a confident speaker. I like the way you use hand gestures. They were perfectly aligned with your speech, and it is suggested to your hand gesture should be in this position, in this way. If you're not using your hands, you can use it in that way. So, and you smartly use phrase of the word twice, and that was quite inspiring, and I overall your content was quite good and you spoke quite well. So please keep coming, and but what I would suggest to become a member so that we can hear your icebreaker speech. And then we have our new member, Toastmaster Zohra Alana. You started with the phrase of the word that was superb. You started quite well about the topic. Your content was relevant. Your vocal variety was perfectly aligned with your speech. Overall, it was a good speech. I wish you could have used more time, but overall, it was quite inspiring. I would suggest the same. Since you're a member, we would request you to please deliver your icebreaker speech so that we can hear you more. And then we have our beloved member, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Again, you started with the phrase that was quite interesting. Your hand gestures were perfectly aligned with your speech, and that shows your confidence level and your confidence about the topic. You smartly use phrase of the word twice. I like the pauses in your speeches. Overall, it was good, confident speech, and you spoke confidently. And then we have guest from C Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Imran. Again, you were amongst two who uses the phrase of the word in the beginning of the speech. You told us the facts about vaccination. Your content was quite good and relevant. I like the statement, by the way, I am also vaccinated. It has a humor, and I thoroughly liked it. Overall, it was quite interesting and amazing speech. So all the speakers spoke quite well. With that, I would like to hand over the charge back to our general evaluator. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana, for such a crisp evaluation. And I'm sure your evaluation not only encouraged the members, the guests, even the member who hasn't delivered the icebreaker to for sure give you a next speech slot. That's a good one. Thank you. Now let me invite our counter Toastmaster. He was silent for the whole period. Now he has to give his report. Toastmaster Shamil Shariar, please.
Thank you, TM. Thank you, General Evaluator. TM, the thief, you, Mansoor Ali, used 13 filler words. TM Azhar Khan used 7. TM Rabia Tabassum Sishan used 9. TM Kareem Meghani 6. TM Imran also 6. And TM Shahnawaz 6 times. Imran Mahmood Chaudhary used 4 times. And TM Zohra, am I pronouncing her name right? Zohra is Zahra. What is her name? Zohra. Okay. Zohra. Okay. TM Zohra used 3 times. I have to, when TM Noreen Fatma was giving her tabletop speech, I was disconnected, so I didn't know how many times she used. So I can't say about her. And DTM Developing Habit said use it 5 times. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamil Shariar. Now let's have the Word Master report. The phrase of the day. Nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever. Yes, many people use this phrase, and some people not, but overall, it's fine. Okay, how it was generated.
Toastmaster Azhar, if you can encourage those speakers who have said these phrases by their names, calling, it will be like a recognition for them. Please, I'm sorry, I apologize, but if you can announce who has spoken and like me, who hasn't used it.
Basically, some internet connection, so I not exactly right name of the person. Some issues.
Okay, no
I,
issues.
I remember who did not use it. Myself,
Exactly.
myself, Toastmaster Shamil Shahriar, Toastmaster Karim Nagari, and Toastmaster Ali Ashar, and Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali did not use the word of the phrase of the
Yes.
day.
And
So-
everybody else use it at least once, and most of them use it twice.
Okay. Now, thank you everyone for those who have used it, and for those who haven't used it, at least this lines we could have used it. Anyhow, let's move ahead and have a listener's role. Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum, please, the stage is yours.
So everyone, this is the testing time of your
Yes.
listening skills. So I request you all to please unmute yourself.
Yes, please unmute yourself. Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum will be giving some, saying some words which has been used by the speaker. And you all are requested to give the speaker's name.
Ali is stuck, I think.
If he could share his report, anyone, even with me or Toastmaster Latif, then Toastmaster Latif from myself can do that.
I think maybe Toastmaster Latif, you can go to the Grammarian and then come back to Toastmaster Ali, maybe.
Okay, fine. He's back. He's back. Sorry.
Sorry. My internet connection was just as we have a phrase that nothing lasts long. So that was an example. Okay. The first question is, before Berlin Games, who can participate in the Olympics?
Latif.
PM Latif said it.
No, who can participate in the, yes, that was an abstract from Toastmaster Latif's speech. But
people from
what
with both arms.
the particular designation?
Okay. Sorry. That's an interesting question.
PM Latif, can you please help that who can only participate before Berlin Games? I
The
think only
commissioners?
commander.
Yeah,
Yes.
commission and the
Yes. Okay. My next question: can anyone please name the Madhya
It is indeed a listening test.
village name? Anyone would remember the name of
Toastmaster Ali, you mean the
Am I
village?
audible?
Yeah, now you are. Can you please repeat?
Maybe he can close his camera. I think it will work.
Once
It will
again.
improve the bandwidth. Yeah.
Yes. What was the year? What was the year when Toastmaster Rabia Zishan joined TCF as the rubber mentor?
2016.
Anyone else?
We should confirm. We should ask her.
18. 2018.
2018.
Okay. Who was the narrator of the Suno Kahani? Who is the narrator of the
Sania Said. Sania Said.
Yes.
Sania Said.
Yes. Okay. Who said 7 habits not complete in 7 minutes?
Latif.
Yes. Okay. What was the 6th habit?
Synergy.
No, not
Begin with the end in mind.
Synergy.
No, that was the third.
Synergy.
Third one. Yes, synergy was the. Okay. Whose whole family is vaccinated?
Toastmaster Imran Sheikh.
Imran Sheikh.
Yes. According to DTM Shahrukh, what forced people to leave their places? According to DTM Shahrukh, what
Water
forced
resources?
Scarcity of water, scarcity of water resources.
drought and famine.
Scarcity of water.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yes. Okay. Last one. Who will do research before help? Who will do research before help? It's Toastmaster Imran Rana. Okay, that's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aliashar Anjum, for battling out in this struggling times with internet and yourself and your role. Thank you very much for assisting us and engaging us. I think everybody was tentative at some extent because answers were from not everyone. It happened to be some parts were missed with any other speakers. Now let's have a grammarian report, and DTM Tala, I think it's you who has volunteered.
Shahrukh Shahnawaz.
Okay. DTM Shahrukh Shahnawaz, please, if you can.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, as a grammarian, today I witnessed a great usage of English language, and many memorable phrases were shared today. For instance, it was said that don't focus on what you have lost, focus on what you have. So this was a really good phrase. The miracle of education. Never cease to amaze me. Let's start the journey. Again, a memorable phrase. Nothing lasts forever. Affects our health adversely. These were the phrases which were amazing, I think, and they were spoken and shared by all the speakers today. Area of improvements. Well, someone said that I have gathered some research. So I think it should have been I have researched. Renaissance was not being pronounced correctly, so it is Renaissance. Made this book, it could have been wrote this book. Touch your heart really inside, it could have been touches your heart. And I was struggled to hear you, so it could have been I was struggling to hear you. So that's pretty much it. Back to General Evaluator.
DTM Shahrukh. Interesting usage of grammar and where to be made it better. Thank you very much for correcting us. Thank you for your time. Now let's have the facilitators, the best facilitators voting, and I'll just float the vote now. A timer, please. Can I have your report?
It's completely fine, TM Latif. I think we all know that we were on time and it was a wonderful meeting. Some areas of improvement. Before I give I think that we started on time. Everybody respect each other that, at 6:30 we need to start. So the people who are here, probably everybody was here. So that's a good sign. I think the speeches, except myself, because I was following the time metrics too deeply. That's why I was not on time. Otherwise, all the speeches were on time. The table topics took 20 minutes with 6 speeches. So TM Hiba, that was wonderful that you were able to do this wonderful table topic in time limits. Evaluation also, we assigned 40 minutes, but we were done in less than 35 minutes. But with completing all the roles, I think that we need to just area of improvement probably when we are saying in the agenda that listeners and our counters and grammarian, I think we should put time also for them, that how much time is allocated for each role. So that will give us a training how to manage our time. Otherwise, wonderful meeting, wonderful topics and wonderful everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karim. I'll float the vote for the best facilitator, and here you go. Meanwhile, everyone is busy giving that best facilitator report. Vote. I will give my general evaluation report. My role today as a general evaluator was to evaluate the entire meeting, the entire segments, that is starting from the introduction of the guest, then the prepared speech, table topic, and then my own session. Let me tell you, this was an amazing session. It not only stayed till the guest. In fact, I feel very good, very confident when I see a guest who was there at the start of the meeting and it's still there, knowing how the procedures will be running. So it is encouraging for the members, plus it feels more confidence that these people who are coming as a guest value us and give their time to learn to be the better version of themselves. So thank you, everyone. So thank you, President, first of all, inviting the guest, encouraging them to introduce themselves and speak. First of all, today, that prepared speech session was amazing, because each and every speaker today motivated. They not only zoom out from their comfort zone, they zoom out us everywhere, because it was an eye-opener at every sentence. Be at personal development or be a personal growth of physical life. So thank you very much, every speaker. Let's move on to table topic. Table topic, Toastmaster Hiba, you have always come up with amazing table topics. And I love the way you were engaged, you invested your time to sort out those topics. But my suggestion was, if you are inviting a guest on everyone, it is better to have them with one-liner. Just for example, during COVID cases, was it worth helping others? And I'm sure this would have shortened the topic and given more time for the speaker to think on their feet and give speeches. Other than that, amazing way of handling the session. I loved it. You invite each and everyone who were not having the speaker slot. I wished I had one topic also. But though, thank you very much for having an entertaining session. Now, evaluation. Evaluation is really interesting. When I started this meeting or Karachi Toastmasters at KTC, I realized that this is a place where we can improve ourselves. If you look at my speeches in 2019 June, 2020 June, you will be amazed of what I am doing right now, because this is all an improvement of this whole 1 year, a little more than June, but it is this whole 1.5 years which I have been listening to my evaluators and giving up the best potential efforts. So everyone over here, don't get disheartened with, I know writing a speech is a gem. It's a task. But if you are ready to evaluate yourself in the speeches ahead, you'll be making a better speech and a better takeaway message, because you are taking a time of around 20 people, 7 minutes of everyone. So why not give them a takeaway message on that short time? a message which they remember for the best of their life or in the practical world. Last thing, we are making a lot of effort of bringing it for 2 hours, 15 minutes. But please, please don't bother if you look at the recording of the speeches on YouTube, it is not more than 2 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 30 minutes or more. Just because we are having some internet issues or something, that meeting's duration goes longer. But trust me, we need more education awards. We need more leaders. We need new ideas. So come up front, deliver your speeches, and make sure that you be the better version of your past. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for my time. One good message, if I have to give, or one improvement point, this is just a wish list. Agenda should come one day earlier. Now that's a challenge for VP Education. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Latif, for zooming out so beautifully and evaluating the meeting in general. Really, it was a bird's eye view of the entire meeting. The way you laid it out, it became a beautiful story, or like a map of the entire meeting. And yes, it's a mystery to me how we managed to touch 3 hours regardless of the number of prepared speeches we have. I mean, when we have 8 speeches, and yes, there have been days when we've had 8 meetings, believe it or not, we used to have such a time. Our meeting was 3 hours long, and today we have 4, and still our meeting is 3 hours long, although with one caveat. The caveat is that one of them was a keynote speech, so it was actually equivalent to 3 speeches. So effectively, we did have 6 speeches. So this is something that we need to work on, and I will seek the help of our timer today because he's thinking in the same direction. When the video is uploaded, we will analyze it, and maybe we'll identify where we went over time, because it's a complete mystery. Individual segments, we are well within time. I was constantly observing our timer, and he was showing the timing for every segment, and everything was within time. But collectively, and maybe the 10-minute prayer, we expand to fill the three-hour slot. But with that note, I thank everyone and hand over the charge to the president, conveniently myself. So again, no transition time. So Toastmaster Latif, if
DTM Tala was asking me to float the big 4 votings. Yes. So I'll just launch it.
Can you explain what is this? Because I don't get it.
Yeah, these are the big 4 roles. For example, the Toastmaster of the day, Talha bin Hamid, DTM Talha bin Hamid, who was proceeding from the DTM Tala. I was explaining what is big 4 to our guest Imran Chaudhary. Please, if you can explain the big 4.
So okay. So the big 4 are the major role players in the meeting. For example, the Toastmaster of the day, the host of the meeting, is one of the major role players. The table topics master, the person who conducted the table topic session, the person who evaluated the table topic session. Although in some clubs, the table topics evaluator is bundled along with the other evaluations. But in Karachi Toastmasters Club, we bundle them with big 4. And finally, the journal evaluator. So generally, the people who had the most screen time during the meeting, they actually are the big 4. So I hope that is clear to you.
Thank you.
All in all, you can vote for table topic evaluator, that is Toastmaster Imran.
We were supposed to laugh?
Yeah, sure.
You will laugh tomorrow, inshallah.
So while the polling is done, I will ask our guest, who should not be a guest anymore, but technically he is, although he's a returning Toastmaster, Toastmaster Imran. The Imran, what should I say? Okay, let's not say anything. The person with the longer name, Imran Mahmood Chaudhary, and not Imran Rana. Over to you, sir. Your thoughts on the meeting.
I think I mentioned it was not my first meeting. I was familiar with the structure, but it had been a long time though. And I think I like this version far much better than the older one. I think during the period that I was absent, the community has grown, and the way it was structured, I see a definite change. And besides all of the other, I mean, past experience, I mean, the intention of for me joining back again was to pursue was to again find a community where I can share my interest and find new friends, but most of all to have to enhance my communication skills, because all these years I couldn't find any other medium better than this. So I think this speaks a lot for the Toastmaster community itself.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran, and that was music to our ears, because the change and transformation that you see, all of us have been working towards this for years now. And of course, some of it was necessitated by change in the Toastmasters curriculum as well. And then COVID-19 did the rest. And that's the very reason we are meeting each other online. So yeah, a lot of change has come. And this is a whole new medium. And that is what I say to all the members, that, instead of being afraid of presenting yourself online versus in person, consider it a whole new medium of learning. But for your knowledge, the ultimate model that Toastmasters sees going forward is a hybrid meeting where people meet physically and online. So anyone who can come to the venue, they come to the venue, and remainder join online. It's a great equalizer, because if you recall, when we used to meeting at a meeting place entails traveling across the city and then giving the venue charges, right? And not everyone can afford them, because everything's price has skyrocketed in the meantime. So it's a great equalizer. We are able to offer the Toastmasters experience, especially the Karachi Toastmasters experience, to people in all corners of Karachi and around the world. And that is an amazing transformation. You'll be pleased to know that there are so many foreign clubs with which we had combined meetings, as Toastmaster Imran mentioned in the beginning. And each of those clubs has approached us for a combined meeting without any bargaining. They were just interested after seeing the activities of our club. And you'll be also pleased to know that we have the president of Islamabad Toastmasters Club in our club. So that's the level of cooperation that we have across the country, all thanks to this online medium. We can go into each other's meetings. And not only that, we have, you saw Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. He's our VP PR. He's also the VP Education of a club in Kuwait. And same goes for a lot of our members. Toastmaster Kareem Meghani is actually sitting in Madagascar right now. And Toastmaster Noreen is joining us from Islamabad. So I believe this new version of Toastmasters is quite magical in that respect. So thank you so much for your sentiments, and looking forward to your active participation in the future. I have the poll results, and yeah. So first of all, Best Speaker Award, and that goes to Toastmaster Rabia Tabassum Risham. So congratulations. Best Table Topics Award. Okay, now this is difficult because almost all of the participants got very similar number of votes. And because everyone did so well. So I will actually, there's a tie at the top, and I will let it remain a tie because that's what these two speakers deserve. So the joint winners of the table topics is Toastmaster Noreen Fatma and Toastmaster Imran Mahmood Chaudhary. Congratulations. Best Evaluator goes to DTM Charok Shanavas. Congratulations. Best facilitator goes to our timer, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani. And you know what? It is a rare occasion where a timer wins, but the extra touch that Toastmaster Kareem Meghani brought to his report, I believe that made a whole lot of difference, and plus the way he timed each and every segment other than the speeches. So yeah, the little things matter. And finally, of course, there would have been apocalypse and the sky would have fallen if Toastmaster Latif would have walked away from the meeting without an award. So naturally, he wins the General Evaluator Award. Congratulations, Toastmaster Latif. And finally, we have another very interesting award, which is the Critics' Choice Award for Best Speaker. And in this, the criteria is the International Speech Contest ballot. So the aim is to actually encourage all speakers to prepare a speech that is well-rounded and entertaining enough to win a speech contest, regardless of the topic that they have. So since we had four speakers today, I will just announce the top two. And the second place winner is Toastmaster Rabia. And of course, the first place winner is Toastmaster Latif once again. So congratulations. With that, I briefly hand over to Toastmaster Imran Rana if he has any announcements to make as VP Education. And sorry, before that, Toastmaster Zora, would you like to share your feedback about the meeting?
Thank you, Toastmaster. So yeah, as much as I avoid speaking, you actually brought me here to speak. I really like the structure. I'm sorry I was not, present in the beginning, but I really enjoyed, table topics, and I attended Kareem's 7 Habits topic as well, and I really liked that as well. I particularly enjoyed the way Latif was speaking, and yeah, it was inspiring to have such an I actually get I actually become speechless in front of a lot of people, so bear with me. Hopefully next time I'll be more expressive, but yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zora. And let me tell you, I speak for everyone. Your expression is beautiful. You express yourself beautifully. You did that in table topics too, and you did that just now. So you don't need to be afraid of anything. You have what it takes. And we would love to hear prepared speeches from you. We'd love to have you play roles. So we look forward to you participating in the future as well. So yes, thank you so much. And now to our VP Education. Sorry, yes, Toastmaster Zora.
No, I just said thank you and
Okay. So Toastmaster Imran, over to you if there are any announcements.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Talha. So I've been given a challenge by our VPPR. So members, this challenge can only be fulfilled if and only if you fill the Google form, grab your role, grab your speeches, and I can guarantee that we can have the agenda not one day before. We can have it before 2 days before. So we will again planning to have our next meeting as a hybrid meeting. So for that we need at least 15 members that will break even the whole situation. So I'll share the message. Those who are interested to participate in the meeting at Beach Luxury Hotel, all you need to let us know so that we can make arrangements accordingly. Over to you, Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much. So with the official business over, I have the meeting closed, and I am still recording. And now is the time to say, no, sorry. I forgot. I'm not authorized to stop the recording. Toastmaster Latif, please stop the recording. And we now say goodbye to each other. Plus,